apparently Eazy E had a plan to release a brand of speakers way before Dre was probably even involved in Dre Beats. Did you know anything about Eazy E's speaker idea?
No.
Yeah, no.
No.
Okay. Yep. Someone asked, Cavett Haynes asked, is D Barnes from LA? She's from LA, right?
To my knowledge, yeah. Rose is from Chicago, but D is from LA, as far as I know.
Yeah. You know what? Talk about Body and Soul a little bit, because we know D Barnes obviously from her hit hip hop show that we used to watch. You knew her pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How is she, in relation to Rose? Because I don't know much about Rose. I don't think she gets too much shine. How did D Barnes kind of quote unquote blow up, but Rose didn't?
Well, you know what? They were two different personalities. Rose lived. She rented a room for me for years. She used to be her and Dre were extremely tight. I'm gonna put it like that. And there was an issue, and she, hey, I need what it said. I got a spare room. Handling some shit, and she was cool because at that time I had a girl, but I didn't have a living girl. It was hard to tell my girl I got another chicken living in the room here, and she's cute.
Yeah,
you try to get no, and we on everything. We always kept it because that was Dre's friend, and I was doing her a favor, doing him a favor, and we always kept it cool, kept it cordial, and because at that time I still am. I'm like people's big brother, so people don't look at me like that, and that's fucked up sometimes. But I'm always in the big brother show. That's like my big uncle. That's how I get introduced. That's my big uncle. That's my lane. I stay in it. Okay, I got enough victims on my highway as it is. Anyway, she kind of ran my house for me because I was on tour a lot. So it was good to have somebody here that not really house it, but keep an eye on things when I'm gone. And it just was good to have somebody around, especially if you're a bachelor and your girl ain't at the house. Somebody open the door, hey, how you doing? How was the show? Woo 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 woo. And we had that common bond. It's just that when they was looking for a host for the show, if you ever talk to D is a funny chick, man. She is a funny person. Okay, I nicknamed her Fulio because she had you rolling like a. And last time I saw her, she had me rolling, and she's real upbeat. She's from New York. She's from New York. That's what it is. She's from back east. I'm sorry, she's from back east. And if you ever talk to her, she was a real upbeat person. Big smile, big personality, and she was a great host. She had a great thing for her. And I think they wanted to make her like the West Coast version of what's the chick named Downtown Julie Brown, okay? And they didn't need two girls to host the show. They didn't need two girls to host the show. They only had one Fab Five Freddy. They only had one Downtown Julie Brown. They had one D Barnes, okay? And later on they got Ed Lover and Dr. Dre, but by that time it was a whole different situation.
Yeah, she was perfect for that role. And Pump It Up. Yeah. What a classic show, man. So many good moments. Let me ask you, not to bring up a negative situation, but it happened. It's out there. Everybody knows about the situation with her and Dre later on. So I'm kind of just putting it all together. They knew each other before. I never really knew they even. Oh no,
dude! It was when I heard about that. I'm like, that's like somebody jumping on and beating up your cousin. Because everybody was here every day, all the time. It was my house was like House Party in the movie every day. If you look back at House Party right now, you see Martin Lawrence, you see Kid and Play, you see Tisha Campbell, you see Tashina Arnold. And at that time, what nobody in that movie really blow it up. Not even Robin Harris. Okay. But that's how my house was back in the day. You had Dre, Yella, Michel'le, she came later on.
Jinx,
Jinx, DJ Pool Q. And these were all kids. Okay. These were all kids. And again, I'm gonna do a chart one day. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm gonna do a chart on the math for all my haters out there. Man, why you didn't look, dude? Understand the numbers, okay? When people came to me, I'm a grown man with a house and a kid, and on my third nightclub, and these cats is just out of high school. What in the fuck do I look like being in their group? Okay, what and again, because of what they were trying to do at that time. That time for me as a black man, it would not have worked. I didn't think it would have worked for me. I didn't think it would work
28, 3rd, nah.
Come on, man. I'm a rookie gangbanger. And I'm talking about, I come from the triple OG of Compton, Pyru, Crips, whatever the case, Front Boys, whatever the case may be. They all know me. They all know what I did and did not do, what I'm capable of. They kept me out of shit for a reason. Now I'm all of a sudden going to just start perpetrating. It wasn't going to work for me. And like I said before, if it had went the other way and it blew up, I'd have been the worst person in the world. Man, I just not getting over that. Think about that, man. You know, when you let them kids down the path for so-and-so. Man. Okay? I mean, because you got to understand, if I'm 12 years older than Cube, right? Mm-hmm. Cube is 54. He's 50. He's 52. I'm 64. Okay? So I'm 20. I'm 22. He's 10. He's in the 5th grade. Okay? He's in the 5th grade. Yeah. I'm 22. Okay? He's in the 5th grade. So take that time scale and move it up. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if he's 18, I'm 30. Okay?
Mm-hmm. You be the gang leader according to everybody.
Come on, man. Come on. Dude, that don't work for me. Okay? If Cube is 18, Dre is 22. Okay? I'm 30.
Yeah.
Let's do the math. Do the numbers. Let's make it make sense for everybody, okay? Sometimes you got to make decisions, man. And whether they're good decisions or bad decisions, or they may be bad to one person, but they may be good to somebody else, or the bottom line is, if they're good to you, then everybody should be happy. Okay? Mm-hmm. Everybody should be happy. I wouldn't know you don't understand how I operate. Okay, you don't understand them. You weren't back in them times. It's real hard to say what you would have done because you already been programmed a certain way. I have seen things that most cats haven't seen. I was telling some people, we had a conversation the other day. I was talking to a judge, and I wasn't in court, and I wasn't in no suit. I had a judge on my other podcast, the Compton Chronicles. Okay, on the Compton Chronicles, I interview people from Compton, judges, politicians, city councilmen. All type of folks. And he and I are about the same age. In fact, I'm a little older than him. And we were talking about how Compton had changed so much just in our lifetime. Okay? And the things that people had to do back then, things that we were able to do back then because the gang factor was minimum. It existed. Mm-hmm. It existed, but it was minimal. Okay, and it wasn't until the 80s and the early 90s when it just took over, and it made for a different city. And when you understand that, because some people don't know what it is to have a phone with a cord attached to it. Okay, mm-hmm. Some people don't know nothing about that. Okay, you don't know what it is to get a busy signal. Okay, even if you've had a phone. Even if you had a phone with a cord in it, you don't know what it is to get a busy signal, because when I grew up, the phones had a cord, and if you got a busy signal, you had to call the operator and break the line. Okay?
Damn,
y'all had call waiting always. If you under 45, you always had call waiting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You always had call waiting. You always just change over. We didn't have call waiting. So there's certain things that I grew up with and I know about that give me a different perspective that, I'm not saying my perspective is better. It just gives me a different perspective.
Mm-hmm. I was at a party recently talking to a child, probably like 7 or 8. And he was really excited that his parents let him stay up late one night to watch TV. He was like, "Oh, I stayed up till 12:30, and it was a party or whatever." And I tried to explain to this little kid that there was a time when I was a kid that the TV just turned off.
Turned off.
12. They played the national anthem or whatever that was, and then there wasn't shit till 6 in the morning till Spider-Man came on.
That little Target. The best you could probably do is go to the UHF or VHF.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and you might catch a old ass, messed up ass, out of sync karate movie or something for a couple hours later. That's it. That's it.
Facts.
And you the rest of the time. You looked at this, look like a Target, okay? And they played the national anthem until 6 o'clock in the morning. You were glad when the news came on, man. Come on, Doc. If you had took a nap earlier, it was a long night back then, man. It was a long night, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, man.
If you was looking for Christmas, it was a long night because there was nothing for you to do.
What a time, man. 57 people in the building. I just got to say thank you, guys.
Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It's
please
going down
notify.
In the chat room.
Please notify. Please.
Yeah, please. 56 people. Please hit that like button. We have 27 likes. If we can get that like button ratio up, that really helps us. That lets everybody know that we're on. It does something to the YouTube algorithm that gets attention. So, please hit that like button if you're listening to the sound of my voice right now. I really appreciate it. I already see it going up. You guys are awesome, yo. Teddy Styles, Deuce Times, Tarquata After, Michael Andrews, Gary Cummings. Shout out to you guys, Montana Max.